the world has always been wild. That's what we're adapted to live in. And now that we have invented the dream of civilization and consciousness, so these are not realities, these are dreams and ideas still. We still have our nature. Alright? So human beings are amongst those animals that have developed traces of consciousness and higher intelligence, like crows, whales, octopus, some cephalopods, and monkeys. And we find, and I'm talking about dolphins now, chimpanzee and crows, we find the traces of very negative behavior also in these social intelligent environments of exploitation, exclusion, slavery, violence, sadism even. So it's all not that willy-nilly, right? And we are also, a lot of us are stress addicts. We perform the best when we can fight, when we are threatened, when we are under pressure, when we have to prove. Because the human being is lazy. You need to understand, we have a safe spot. A cave, a tree, a narcissistic family cult, whatever, where we hide away. And we only go out into that threatening reality that threatens our grandiosity only if necessary. So laziness and high competitiveness and stress addiction is supposed to be a fine balance that controls our behavior, so that we're not all the time exposing ourselves to reality, because reality is so dangerous. I'm kidding a little bit today. It's so funny. But also that we don't chill in the cave all the time hiding away, because at some point we need to extract narcissistic supply. Of course I'm kidding, I'm talking from the point of view of a narcissist, but a real human being needs to do the same, just in real terms. It means to go working, getting money, getting prey, take care of the kids, whatever you have to do, social interactions and so on. But a lot of us people, again, are stress junkies, and everybody carries narcissism. It's just the difference is that a narcissist it's the organizing principle of their personality, and it has control over them. In a healthy person, you can get aware of your narcissistic sides and you control them. It's like in shadow work. When you repress things, they take control over you. It doesn't mean they are away. They will take control of your subconsciousness, even your overt behavior, and you're not aware of them because you repress them. You just deny it. Like a real like a real coward, right? And I'm gonna finish this here. So a lot of us people are stress junkies. We're living in an environment that can easily trigger our narcissistic defenses, that can, in other words, use our, narcissists use both our kindness when we're in a civilized state, when we're good, when we're in a peaceful, balanced state. They use our kindness and our open-mindedness, our civilized attitude, and use it as a weakness. but they are also very good at triggering our adrenaline, dopamine, fight and flight, and then it quickly turns into a state where we are in a high performing state, but because we are in a survival mode. And you can do this for some years, but it's not meant to be the standard mode that you operate in. All right, we are not fighting for survival every day. That's suboptimal. No, we should live in peace and balance with ourselves in the first place. It's all about body chemistry. Yeah. So we're living in a world where, there is many metaphors for the same thing that creates a violent environment, or the illusion of a violent, dangerous environment. So narcissism can be seen as vampiric. So we're living in a world full of vampires. We're living in a world full of colonialists, people who take slaves. They are colonizing. Narcissists colonize the mind and take slaves. They love codependent people that they then own and take control of and regress them and isolate them from reality. They create zombies. So we're living in a world full of zombies, of vampires, of witches, warlocks, black magic, people who try to control others' minds by destabilizing them and gaslighting them, by doing ritualistic actions, by making them believe that they have power over them, by conspiring in the background and using coercive control mechanism, which means you make a person believe that they are something they are not, undermining their self, their belief, their faith, their confidence, and so on. There is a huge topic on YouTube about destiny swap. So people, like a covert narcissist, literally lives in shame and anxiety of their own identity. So they have a false self, just like the overt narcissist or the psychopath. But a covert narcissist cannot invent or cannot even create a false self. Okay, so they are a fail. They so the overt narcissist and the psychopath have a compensatory mechanism for their lack of being a real human, which means they are zombies and vampires, but they have created their false self, while a covert narcissist even fails at doing that, which means they need to snapshot another person, introject another person, and then behave like them. I have witnessed this. So this person came as his wife. This was the personality he mimicked, and then he wanted to introject me, which means at some point he needs to eliminate me from his reality to be able to act. Because when I look at him, I see a ridiculous clown that tries to be something that he's not. So, in other words, we're living in you're living in peace and you create an aura of peace around you, but just as long until these things come closer to you and affect you in some way. Therefore, a healthy person, a strong person, an individuated person needs to combine a lot of contradictions in itself in order to make peace, the peacemaker, to function in the world as intended. It means you can be a peaceful and protective father of your kids that is self-regulated, not dysregulated, not externally regulating, but you can project an aura of peace even in the face of a lot of challenges and potential threats. But at the same time, you're able to go to war and confront people who threaten your peace. It means that you have healthy aggression. Yes, still, it means you have to have all these abilities that can also be very contradictive. And you need to switch modes. A lot of fathers, family fathers, have a huge problem of switching the roles when they come from work, when they come from this violent, vampiric, imperialistic, colonialistic jungle that we're living in, coming home and then immediately switching to be loving, caring, understanding, patient father figures, right? And the same applies to mothers for sure. So, guess we're moving on right now. Yeah. So we're living in a challenging environment that tries to dysregulate us and put the same mode on us that makes us easy to be controlled, which means anxiety. We should be full of anxiety and shame, so we give the decision-making processes and the self-agency up to others, to people who want to control others, to psychopaths and narcissists, okay? They want us in a dysregulated and weak, fearful state. And when we diverge from this, when we say, we defend ourselves, they try to use that against us as well and say, oh, look, this person is aggressive. No, we're just fighting to be sovereign, self-sustaining, healthy parts of society that don't feed off others, that don't create a dog-eat-dog, fight-and-flight response environment. We're not parasitic predators, okay? We fight this pandemic because real peace in every country of the world, no matter big or small fish, can only become reality if others don't suffer for the wealth of other people. We need to be fair. We need to give identity, self-efficacy, self-sustain, self-confidence to everybody in the world. True equality, respect, and not exclude others, like covert narcissists and psychopaths will always do. They will always create an environment of hyper-competitiveness, difference, while the real difference is that they are the problem. They are mentally sick. They are cowards. They create inequality, and then they point fingers at people who try to break free from that. Okay, hypocrites, Pharisees, woe unto you. We need more love. We don't need no more trouble. All right? But you can't talk to that with this to these people. They fake all of this. They don't know. They have no concept about love. That's the real problem. That's the real problem, and I have no solution for it. Absolutely no solution. I have no solution for the problems of false pretense, which always results in betrayal and exclusion. There is no solution for that. Maybe there is. I hope. I don't want to make a negative message, but you tell me, is it easy to heal a narcissist or a psychopath? A person with a bad mother introject? A psychopath that has given up authentic feeling and has almost uncanny emotional stability, but this is not stability or balance. This is the absence of emotional processing. It's an absence. Like narcissism is an absence of a true self, right? So you tell me, is it easy to cure that? Is it easy to find a better alternative that makes a person function better in a social environment? No, it's not. That's why it's a real huge problem to heal that even people who are self-aware and triple diagnosed narcissists and do everything they can, they don't have a fix. They don't have a fix. Because what happens in the age between 2 years and 12 years in childhood, you can't replace that. You can't replace that with a therapy, right? You just